Manchester United and Arsenal legends come together to talk the Battle of Old Trafford, Pizzagate and the two clubs' bitter rivalry under Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson in an all-new documentary. Channel 5's The Feud, Ferguson vs. Wenger charts the burgeoning of one of English football's most intense rivalries between managers and players. While Arsenal legends Sol Campbell, Martin Keown and Lee Dixon refer to a sense of injustice and Ferguson's influence over referees, United icons such as Paul Scholes and Phil Neville discuss the tough tackling approach aimed to target the Gunners' soft players. Phil Neville recalls one case of direct targeting of an Arsenal opponent in October 2004 when he, brother Gary and Paul Scholes were tasked with tackling Spanish winger Juan Antonio Reyes. We literally kicked him off the park, Phil Neville says. I think he got subbed off after about 60 minutes. Every time he got the ball, Gary, Neville, smashed him. Next time he got the ball I smashed him. Next time he got the ball, Paul, Scholes smashed him, and after a bit I remember looking at him and thinking, what am I doing in English football? But this was a rivalry built on aggression and a genuine loathing for the opposition from the managerial bench to the pitch. What is most striking in the documentary is that the former players' attitude on each raised event remains as raw and genuine as ever. The sense of injustice remains from Wenger's side while United's cohort took issue with the conduct of their adversaries at that time. The case of Reyes saw Arsenal's 49-match unbeaten run ended in controversy, but the Gunners have their fair share of acrimony and aggression to reflect on, not least in the Battle of Old Trafford. It was a chance to end the Gunners' famous unbeaten run a season earlier than they did, always a huge occasion when the two sides collided at Old Trafford. Stuck in a 0-0 stalemate, the Red Devils were awarded a controversial penalty in the 90th minute when Keown brought down striker Ruud van Nistelrooy in the box. But few could have anticipated the next few frames as the penalty crashed onto the bar before the striker was ambushed by the Arsenal defence like meat thrown to wild animals. When the player, Van Nistelrooy, missed, I just give it to him as you might do in the playground, Keown says in the film. It was unfortunate. People say I regretted it, I never said that. A polarizing moment described by Scholes as over the top. There will be no answer as to whether United's players would have reacted in a similar fashion. It was the biggest disgrace of all time, the way those Arsenal players acted, Neville said, the memory pertinently recounted. The premise of the documentary is to chart the club's rivalry through the lens of the two managers. A genuine obsession to beat the other, with Wenger lifting the domestic double in his first season in charge to United responding in devastating fashion with the treble in 1999. But for as fierce as Ferguson v Wenger was over the years, little could match up to the venom and burning desire inside both Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira when the two sides matched up. In the tunnel or on the pitch, that was the embodiment of the rivalry the two sides had cultivated at that time. Ferocious and not for the faint-hearted. Cast your mind back to Highbury in 2005 with both sides lined up in the tunnel ready for kickoff. Graham Poll is the referee and even he could not have predicted what followed. Keane was furious after Vieira had antagonized Gary Neville in the warm-up, and the film looks to clear up what actually happened before Keane snapped at Vieira, "I'll see you out there." Vieira said something to Gary Neville in the warm-up, which was crazy really, Scholes revealed. Roy felt that Patrick was trying to bully him. "I don't think any of us could be bullied." Phil Neville added, "Gary came in the dressing room and told everyone, and I didn't know that Roy Keane was actually listening. You know, Roy getting his boots, having a drink and stuff. And Gary being Gary saying Vieira said this, Vieira said that to me, he said he's going to do this to me, he said he's going to do that to me." A real drama queen. The Feud will be broadcast on Monday, April 23 at 10 p.m. on Channel 5.